and we're starting to book shows, and we didn't have a name. And this is the lamest way to get a name. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, before we begin the show, let's thank our sponsors. First and foremost, our title sponsor, Once Upon a Coconut, all natural, non-GMO coconut water with natural electrolytes and no added sugar. You can choose from pure blueberry, pineapple, watermelon, sparkling energy, and chocolate flavors with Once Upon a Coconut. Stay hydrated and refreshed. And if you're wondering why it tastes so darn good, it's due to a combination of factors, including the freshness and sweetness of young coconut water, the lack of additives, and the natural electrolytes present. And the best part about it, Once Upon a Coconut, 10% of profits go to charity that benefit our communities, including the Down Syndrome Foundation, Breast Cancer Foundation, Leukemia Society. Good things, good people, great product. So you can grab it at some Sprouts, you can grab it on Amazon, you can go online to find a store near you or purchase it right there off of their website, onceuponacoconut.com. It is delish. Big thanks to Inspect All Pest Services, our buddy Nick and the crew over at Inspect All Pest Services, providing the highest quality termite, pest, and wildlife control. That's not all they do. Inspect All can take care of your insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas. Remember, seasonal, you get different bugs and critters all around your house, so you want to go with the best in the business, and that would be one of our fine sponsors from day one, InspectAllServices.com. It's the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, with the Aurora Law Firm, best darn defense attorney in the world, litigating all over the United States, based out of Georgia. We're talking criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, appeals, and more. And you can always get your legal questions answered by the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, by getting those to me. And when he pops up on a show, you get your questions answered. So go to thebaileyshow.com and we'll get those questions to the Mad Dog. The Aurora Law Firm. He is the best in the business when it comes to therapists. There's no doubt about that. I use them, and so should you. We're talking about Dr. David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. He's got 10 therapists in-house, 3 different locations there in Georgia, one across from Sprayberry High School in Sandy Plains in East Cobb, Marietta near the Square in McKaysville, just outside of Blue Ridge. But if you're not in Georgia and you need to talk to the good doctor, then you can go online and get virtual sessions. Ridgeline Counseling at gmail.com if you'd like to email him directly, or go online to markwelltherapy.com. There is no better time to check if your insurance is any good. That's why FBC Insurance is waiting for you to reach out. You can call them at 888-308-1841 or email them info@fbcinsuranceservices.com. I just switched up my car insurance because I got a better deal, and FBC Insurance, they were the people to find it. Perfect for new homeowners, especially if you're trying to reshop those current insurance policies. 5-star service, multi-policy, bundled discounts, and they're going to shop every carrier out there to find the best insurance for your house, flood, storm season, auto, motorcycle, boat, recreational vehicle, or just a personal policy. 888-308-1841 or go online, FBCInsuranceServices.com. Another one of our great sponsors in storm season. You have to talk to the good people at Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia. Family owned and operated. They are a Generac generator dealer, founded in 2012. So storm season, power goes out. Who knows when it's coming back on? Don't be that guy or girl that does not have a backup plan and having power for whatever it be, especially medical devices, fans, air conditioning, so on and so forth. Offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators, every single one of you. When you become a customer at Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia, you get an upgraded warranty, free monitoring, and warranty repair. A+ rating with a BB&B, and you pay nothing until the job is complete. Call or request a free home assessment. You can go to their website, poweringgeorgia.com, or buzz them at 770-853-7571. Use the discount code Bailey, my last name, and get $500 off your entire installation. All right? Servicing Georgia and Tennessee. Alive Ozone Therapy Spa in Altamont Springs, Florida. This is mine and my wife's wellness spa. If you have an autoimmune, cancer, HIV, just simple biohacking, long COVID, the answer is yes to just about anything that's going on in your body. Most of the time it starts with inflammation, and ozone therapy, it decreases inflammation. So ozone therapy, we are the first and only to do it in Central Florida. That is a live ozone therapy spa. We also offer red light therapy, halo therapy, pressotherapy, PMF grounding mat, as well as naturally in-house made ozone infused products like the magnesium butter that many of you absolutely love. Ozone therapy, what is it? Quickly, it repairs and rejuvenates your cells to the mitochondrial level by using activated oxygen. Simple as that. No side effects. That's all there is to it. It's a 30-minute session, and you actually burn up to 600 calories when you're in the Hocket sauna. We do it the most non-invasive way. So whether you're in the area or you want to travel, book an appointment, AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com. All the products you can get there as well. And remember, for you two peers, use the discount code BS10 to take that off those online products. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, reach out to me via thebaileyshow.com. And if you are a listener of this podcast and you need any of our great sponsors, please reach out to them. Now, let's begin.
I think we should do a podcast about rock and roll. And that's what stories.
Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to the Vinyl Road Podcast.
All right, there it is, episode 17 of the Vinyl Road podcast. All on the BPX, that is the Bailey Podcast Exchange. 3 different shows, 5 days a week. Get all of your information and subscribe to the sub-episodes on the brand new, newly revamped, amazing jasonbailey.com. I love the new website. Absolutely love the new website. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. Thanks to our title sponsor, which would be Once Upon a Coconut, onceuponacoconut.com. Go there, put in your zip code, find out where it sells nearest you. And also you can order online. And if you do that, use the discount code BS Podcast 10 and save yourself some Gatises at checkout. All right. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. There's the man himself, Mr. Brad Stewart. How are you, Mr. Brad Stewart?
How you doing, brother?
What the hell is happening? What was happening?
Oh, man. Just
Stop,
doing
just give it
the
a second.
thing. Doing the thing, baby.
You've got Rockstar tour face right now, is what you got.
Bro, it's pretty rough a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. We're in North Dakota. Yesterday we were in I guess Fargo, and yeah, it was Roadie Friday. I guess we might have went a little hard in the paint, if you will. And now we're here in Minot tonight or today. Yeah.
You look like you're on a glam rock 1988 tour right now. Your face
like hammered shit.
I know. You look like you've been riding rails for about a week.
Bro, fuck, man. I'm trying. We're at show 17 of 33, man. So this is what it looks like after 17 fucking shows out here, man. You know what I mean? No, we're having a lot of fun, though. It's all good.
So before we bring in our guest, I want to say this to you. This is going to make you very, very excited. A listener of the podcast, the Vinyl Roadie, reached out to me and said, you've got to get this one person on the show. This one person that has been recommended is Mike Riggs. Are you familiar with Mike Riggs?
I don't think so. Who's Mike Riggs again? Remind me.
You're Mike Riggs?
Riggs, like from Zombie Riggs.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
That'd be awesome, man. Respect, dude. I love that motherfucker, dude. Yeah.
Do you know him?
I don't know him personally. I mean, we're Facebook friends, but I mean, respect to all the stuff he did with Zombie, and I mean, and now he's back in Rob Zombie after all these years. I think it's awesome, man. Yeah, dude, I'd love to. I don't know how do we make that happen? Do you know him? I mean,
no, but this is why his name's Travis recommended him. I guess Riggs is a huge alien buff. And he's like, if Brad Stewart wants to talk aliens, I'll talk aliens with you. I'll talk aliens till you're blue in your face, man. But
okay.
But I guess Mike Riggs, Zombie's guitarist, is a huge alien guy. So we can do an entire show of just fucking marking out for aliens.
Well, they're on their way anyway, right? Or they're already here. Which part do you want to go into?
They're already here.
They're already here. They've been here, dude. Come on, man.
We are the ancestors of the aliens. We've got DNA in our bodies that has been put there by don't get me started.
That's right. That's correct. We've been kind of engineered by them, of course.
Correct. You know? Yeah, the seeds that were laid, blah, 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 blah. I mean, okay, let's bring our guest on. I mean, like I'm like you. I mean, I don't want people to think that I'm not a big alien. I don't know why I would say that. But, like that I'm knocking your alien conversation. I just know that as this podcast gets rolling, people want to hear rock and roll and stories from the road from you and Saliva and all that shit in the Shinedown days and Fuel days. And, you know, we get off on an alien tangent. People are going to go, what the shit are you guys talking about? That's what I'm afraid of.
No, I think they're gonna get it. A lot of these people are into Ancient Aliens. There's a new episode, or excuse me, a new season out. We
Easy.
watched, yeah, full new season, bro. We did the one on the Antarctic pyramids, the
Pyramid.
first one. Did you have you gone there? Okay, all right. I love that shit, man. Admiral Byrd, come on, man. Operation High Jump. I mean, all that shit, dude. I'm into it. Let's go.
Well,
Anytime you're ready, bro. I'm fucking there.
I mean, kind of crazy. This map has Antarctica on it. It-
The ice wall.
Listen,
Come on. I mean,
I, I get it. There's pyramids in LA, supposedly, right?
there is. That's true. Yeah.
So, anyway, all right, let's bring on our guest. He is on tour with you guys in Saliva, Earshot, and the lovely Elise and Lilac. He's the original lead singer of the band Hinder. He is the lead singer of the band The Founder, which, by the way, and I said this before, I absolutely love that name for a band. Absolutely. It's so kind of thing. I love it. I love the receipt with a name. Let's bring onto the show Austin John Winkler, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of aliens, hello.
Yeah, what's up, Bubba?
What up, guys?
What up, dude? How
Hey.
are you?
I'm living it, man. We're on tour, and it's a blast, man. I'm doing good, thank you.
Yeah. So like we had met years and years and years ago when you guys in Hinder, you know, were like Lips was like, oh, I mean, just overtook the world.
Yeah, baby.
And you were playing a radio show that I was at the station at the time. And it was crazy during those like early 2000s, mid 2000s. You know, Brad and I talk about this a lot with Shinedown days and all those things. It's like that was the last rock and roll revolution, in my opinion, as far as the pop goes, with the association with rock and roll, genres of rock and roll, not just meh, but also, you know, pop punk. You had active rock. You had the resurgence of, I don't want to say classic rock because that would date me, but the GNRs and the Metallicas and all those types of bands. And then bands like Shinedown and Hinder and Saliva and all these different bands started popping up. Do you agree with that? Was that kind of the last cool rock and roll ride in best of memory for you, even as a fan and not just as a rock star?
Yeah, man. I think that, you know, there's some definite weight to that statement. I mean, like that was back whenever rock could even cross over to pop, and like that was still that was still a thing. And now that's, you know, that's few and far between. So, you know, as long as you can make rock popular, I think that was probably one of the best times for sure.
Yeah. How hard is that to do, Brad? Make rock popular?
Man, it's a tough one these days, brother. I mean, it's I guess, you know, and I think we've talked about this before. People want to trace it back to Kurt Cobain and the grunge movement and how they were so anti sort of fame, and that started taking the attention away from the whole genre of rock and metal because they didn't want to be famous, right? And then it just, I guess people say that it just never came back after that. You know what I mean? And that the rappers took it over, and hip hop took over that whole, you know, spotlight, you know, and I think there's some credence to that, man. But I mean, hopefully, you know, everything ebbs and flows. I think rock music and especially, I think it's coming back. People like Youngblood and, you know, doing that song with Aerosmith and, you know, the whole thing with Ozzy passing. I think it's coming back, man. And we're poised, hopefully, to be right there in the middle of it. Right. I mean, shit.
You know, you think about the passing of Ozzy, and, you know, this obviously is no disrespect to Ozzy Osbourne, but with him passing and as big as that was, it created, in my opinion, this like reach for what was that all about, you know, and it was almost the perfect storm with involving, you know, Youngblood and all that, you know, kind of performance and stuff to reach that younger generation. But even, you know, that younger generation is going, who is this Ozzy Osbourne character? Who's this Black Sabbath guy? You know, and I think that his passing, Ozzy's passing, might be the turn that rock and roll needs to say, you know, stuff like, you know, the stuff you're doing now at the Founder, Austin, like just going, hey, look, yeah, I was that guy with Hinder, but listen to this stuff now. And even when you get a chance, check out the stuff in between. It's all good. It's all rock and roll. It might have not got as many plays on the radio, but it's still good. It's rock and roll. You know, rock and roll lovers just love rock and roll. They're not supposed to judge the songs, right?
Right. I mean, I think that there's a fair point there. And like with the Founder, I mean, like I just wanted to go into the studio and do that. I wanted to like, because there's a lot of bands that just sound so fucking heavy these days. And I'm like, to be honest, and I at some point I can't even pick out the fucking notes that they're playing because it's so fucking heavy. Like it's just all bass. So I wanted to do a record that was kind of like, you know, a little nod to like all the raw rock and roll back in the day, like Zeppelin or Aerosmith and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of, you know, make a really raw rock and roll kind of project.
Yeah. Go back to the beginning, right? When you guys form Hinder. Explain that, like that one day that you're sitting with fill in the blank and the idea was fill in the blank and we're going to call this band Hinder and here's what we're going to do, fill in the blank.
Yeah, right. Well, so like that started as like I was in a cover band. It was like 2001 and we were so good that we didn't even need a name. We didn't have a name for our band. So we're just playing cover songs. And we ended up playing this house party, fraternity party. And that's where I met Cody, the drummer of Hinder. And I had already known the guitar player, Joe. And, you know, I ran into them again eventually at Cody's house. And he had like drums and guitars and all that shit. And I was like, man, we should get together and jam sometime. You know, I didn't really know him all that well. And we actually did that 2 days later. I wrote a song. I had a song called Broken and I just started playing and he went to the drums and blower plugged in. And we played that song probably 175 fucking times that day. So that's how like that bond formed. And, you know, it got to the point where like I had like 20, 30 fucking songs and we're starting to book shows and we didn't have a name. And this is the lamest way to get a name. I'll tell you that right now. Nobody's got a lamer fucking story than me. So we're fucking like frustrated. And I'm like, give me the fucking thesaurus. So I look up frustrate in the thesaurus and lo and behold, Hinder fucking pops up. And I'm like, what about this shit?
No shit.
It's the least rock and roll thing you can fucking ever do, right? And you know, that's just kind of how we got the name there. And then you know, everything else was kind of like, let's just move forward with this. And
you know, at that time you're like, it's going to be
I'm still a little fucking butthurt about that name, man. I just it's
my former band. We had similar struggles, dude. Trust me. We went through some terrible names, but yeah, totally get that story, bro. I mean,
man. To be honest, I never was in love with that name, but you know, it worked out all right. So.
Well, the Shinedown story was cool, man, with the picture. And then Brent comes over and you're like shining down. And then you go into the bathroom, or he goes in the bathroom and comes. I mean, that story was okay, even though I don't believe it. But I mean,
that's totally happened. What do you mean you don't believe it? Completely happened. It was not from fucking Collective Soul either. Fucks.
I'm still saying it's from Collective Soul. Shine down.
Come on. No, man. I know it seems like logical, but that's not where it came from. That's where
it's a good story, though. I mean, to be out there, you know what I mean?
So fast forward, Austin, to you know, Saliva did a tour earlier in the year with Hinder, of course, you know, and that's, you know, said tour ended in Oklahoma City, where, you know, most of the guys live, including you these days, correct?
That's true.
And when we got there, we got the memo that there'd be heightened security.
Oh, heightened security?
Heightened security at the show. And we're like, really? Why? Why would there be heightened security? And apparently they were worried about you coming in there and monkey wrenching shit or something. I don't know, dude. Can you confirm or deny these rumors? We were like, what's he going to do? Like, what is he going to come in there? You know, like,
I mean, you know, if I did decide to do some crazy shit like that, I don't think they'd have enough security to fucking hold anything.
There you go, dude. There you go. All right.
That's fucking funny, man. That's amazing. I did not know that. That's
well,
I
I'm happy to have this footage in case something does happen in the future, to be honest with you.
Man, you know, I've got better things to do with my time than going and throwing a wrench in their fucking set. I promise you that.
So I'm assuming it like most bands, it didn't end well, right? I mean,
Well, you know, I'll just tell you this, man, and this is the truth of the matter. Like, this is how it went down. Like, it was 2013, end of 2013. We have a call, and I'm like, you know, I just fucking feel like I need a break from this. Like, I for my health, for my sanity, like, this is all I've been living for the last fucking 12 years of my life. Like, that's it. Like, I've just been sacrificing a lot and everything, really, my health included. And I was like, I just need to take a break. And their words were, well, we can't do that. So we're going to go on without you. And it crushed me, man. It did. It crushed me. And that's the truth, man. It wasn't like, yeah, I'm going to step away. I don't want to do this anymore. It was like, I needed a break. And, you know, it just, that's how they wanted to end it. And I was crushed. So
I think that it was a big mistake on their part, man. And I stand by that. You know, seeing you and hearing you sing night after night out here, I mean, it's undeniable. Your voice, I know, it's like you have one of those voices where when you start singing, you know who it is immediately. And I think that's something that's pretty rare. I mean, it's like when Will Martin was on here from Earshot. When he starts singing, I'm like, you could tell it's Will, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that you can't let go of. If you have a band, it's an identity thing. And I think that that was a mistake. And you know, bands and people make mistakes. I don't know if you'd ever go back to them if the opportunity presented itself and it was a good, you know, situation for you, or
right.
Can you weigh in on that? Is that even ever been talked about? Or,
you know, like, I'll say this, like, Hinder was my baby. Those, like, the songs, you know, were mostly written about me and my ex-girlfriends, you know what I mean? So it's like, I can always have a place, you know, it's always it's inside me, you know what I mean? Like, it's always there. So I mean, I even reached out to the guys last year because I knew this year in, like, what is it, 4 days, it's going to be the 20-year anniversary of Extreme Behavior, right? So I reached out last year just to kind of give them some time in case they were interested. I was like, dude, listen, like, I think that, you know, if you're down. And I talked to Mark, who is not in the band anymore, and he said he would do one. So I was like, let's do, if you guys are up for it, let's do a 20-year Extreme Behavior reunion. And they passed pretty quickly on that. So
was there?
They're not into it anymore, which I mean, it wouldn't be right anyway. They have to be fucking into it, right? Like, it's not, I don't want to fucking force them to do it. That ain't gonna go right. So
Right. Well, you know, like, going back to when you said, hey, look, got to take a break, health reasons, you know, usually, you know, a band is supposed to be a family. And if somebody's struggling with something, whatever it may be, especially health wise, family wise, you know, those two things are more important than anything else, you know, God, country, love kind of thing. So when you go to your bandmates, one would assume that they say, all right, look, you need to heal. Let's figure a workaround. Now, if it is absolutely impossible to take a break, you know, like the Backstreet Boys, when AJ went to rehab, I don't know why that's top of mind, but, you know, they still toured, but they still had 4 other dudes, right? But there have been bands that I know of that have said, hey, look, you know, our lead singer needs us right now. He needs a break. Let's put a timetable on this. Let's take 2 months off, whatever it was that you need to take a break for, and go, okay, if you're not back by then, let's agree that we're going to pick up this person to fill in for these dates or the rest of the year until you're better and feel ready to, like, was that conversation ever had? That to me makes sense.
No, man. I mean, it really wasn't. I mean, it was really short, and it wasn't even like a discussion. It was like, I mean, I'm assuming they had like a predetermined thing in their mind. Like, if he says he needs a break, well, we're just going to say we can't do it or something like that. Like, but I agree with you, man. Like, you know, I know bands personally and friends personally that have taken breaks, and they've came out the other side stronger and bigger than ever. Like, it's just, it's something I kind of wish, obviously, that our band would have been like, but it wasn't.
So there again, this is me assuming, so tell me, set me straight here, Austin. There was other issues probably prior that led up to this where everybody was just mad at each other and down each other's throats.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure emotions were run really high whenever, because of what happened. There was a show in Denver that I did about $9,000 in damage on the bus, and in the middle of it, I left the tour. So that's how I left. That was like the last show we ever played, and last I ever even saw the guys actually for, 6 or 7 years. And
can I ask
that
what
was,
you did to the bus?
Yeah.
I mean,
what did I do? Oh, it was
what happened?
The two TVs on the side got the most of it, right? It was like one of those things. To be honest, I don't really remember a whole lot of it. I'm going to be honest.
I've destroyed a bus before too. Actually, maybe the bathroom door or something, and maybe a few other things. So I was curious because that cost some money too, but not $9,000. So
yeah,
I was like, that's quite a bit there.
It was $9,000, yeah. But there was definitely emotions run high. But I mean, as far as like struggles and whatever, like internally, I mean, in 13 years with the band, I only missed 2 shows due to like a vocal thing, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I guess you could say that maybe we struggled internally, or maybe they struggled with shit that I didn't see. I don't know. But I mean, I'm obviously not, I wasn't fucking perfect. I wasn't a train wreck. Have you heard my fucking lyrics? I mean, fucking A, I'm talking about
read between the lines here.
I'm talking about being a raging fucking alcoholic and loving to party. Like, I wasn't just saying that because I fucking wanted to say it. I sang it passionately, man. I was into it. That's what I was.
You're like, if I'm going to be it, I might as well get paid for it.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Like,
yeah,
I'm an artist that like I have to feel it, and it has to be true to me in order for me to even sell it. I think as a vocalist, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be close to my fucking heart or my head or whatever. But like, it wasn't a shocking surprise for me to like tear up a bus in a fucking drunken rage. Like, listen to the fucking words of the song. Like,
plus, this isn't some like sewing circle. I mean, it's a rock and roll band. People destroy shit. Like, go read the Led Zeppelin book,
right?
Or Van Halen. I mean, or Pantera. Right. Like, they destroyed shit everywhere they went. They were banned from entire hotel chains. They could not book with Pantera. Like, Dimebag destroyed fucking everything. Dude. Like,
and it's not intentional. It's what happens and occurs in the fucking environment. Like, I didn't plan on it. I don't even fucking remember it.
they're playing like baseball inside the fucking hotel room, shooting fucking paintballs and shit.
You said, Austin, that like it ended and it just ended, and then you just separated and haven't seen each other, talked to each other in years for the most part. So curious, out of your former bandmates in Hinder, if it ended that suddenly and you haven't had any contact in now 12 years, do you still have something of theirs personally that you were going to get back to them, like a sweatshirt or a hat or a watch that they left at your house? And you're like, well, fuck it, dude. I don't see it. You're not getting
No, I don't. I mean, I don't have anything of theirs. I mean, just the sound, I think, is all I have.
That the ringing in the ears, Yeah. So moving forward, okay, we covered the Hinder stuff, right? In between, you still did a lot of music, unlike when we had Will on in this tour for Earshot was it, Brad, like 17 years, you say? 17?
I mean, for like a proper tour, I mean, they've done select shows over time, of course, but yeah, I mean, as far as them getting on a bus and with the current lineup, it's been a long time. So yeah, definitely,
But that's not the case with you, Austin. You've been continuously making music, performing music for the most part since then.
I mean, after, like I said, after, they decided to move on and shit, like I was crushed, and I was still like kind of limping through it. You know what I mean? Just my heart and head my head was definitely not into it. I mean, I did this kind of pop kind of thing. I attempted Austin John EP that, there's some okay songs on there, man, but it's definitely not something I look back on it and go, that was my best shit I could do at the time. Well, it definitely wasn't. But And, you know, I toured, I think 2016, 2017 was my last tour. And then in 2019, I got fucking railroaded and sick as a dog. I mean, liver and kidney failure. And I was
Oh,
on dialysis for like 9 months. And like, I thought that was just going to be my life, man, to be honest. Like,
wow. Was that because of prior
it was
alcohol
because
use?
of, you know, probably it's just copious amounts of Vicodin and fucking alcohol that led me there. So it was, you know, 2019 was fucked for me health
Yeah.
wise.
Well, that wasn't that long ago. You look great. So I'm assuming now you're clean, straight, good to go.
Yeah, man, I haven't had any alcohol in 6 years and 4 or 5 months. So,
Wow. How difficult is that?
I mean, you know, it was difficult at the beginning for sure. You know, I've tried to get clean. You know, I've been to like 7 rehabs before that, and like sober livings and stuff like that. You know, it's like my relationship with alcohol was the longest lasting, most toxic fucking thing in my life. And, you know, I've gotten rid of it. And, you know, I lean on, you know, marijuana here and there, but like as far as like being sober minded, I'm the most sober minded I've ever been. So I feel sharp and I feel good.
You should try chewing tobacco. That's what I use. Yeah, that'll get your mind off of everything. And it
Dude.
stays
So gross, dude. Come on, man.
It's
That's
something I
like
did
the
when I
worst
was,
fucking
like,
habit ever, dude. Come
8
on.
years old, I tried that shit. I mean, it's not for me.
Make
I
you
would-
fucking puke, dude. That's terrible.
Yeah,
Dude. Come on.
like
I
a
would-
sandlot,
It's so
right?
gross.
and don't think you can't sing with it. I would do, I could go through an entire 4-hour radio show. I'd go through an entire can of Skull Uncut Mint, and I could do 2 segments, you know, dip it. Nobody even know, spitting and everything, not even a soul. The only problem is the microphone would get disgusting, you know, because all the tobacco. But I'm just saying, you know, if you're
Yeah.
looking for an outside vice, you know, it's not good for you, but I think it looks cool, especially when chicks do it. I think it looks cool. You know, big old Gerber in the side of their mouth. Brad, no?
No. That's so like Jacksonville, Florida. Like everyone dips there, dude. It's like, come on, man. It's so gross and shit. Like, it's so
Yeah.
NASCAR. Come on, bro.
I don't even like NASCAR. So this tour, Austin, so far so good. Like when you get out there feeling comfortable with this band and the new music that you guys are doing with the founder, is this kind of clear mind? Are you reminiscent of back in the day, and does it feel like that, or does it feel like a fresh start for you?
You know, I'm loving it out here, you know, and it is a little bit of reminiscence, you know, and, you know, my favorite thing to do has always kind of been like obviously going on stage and just seeing the smiles on people's faces. Like, who the fuck is this guy? And why is he so fucking weird? Or why is he so fucking, you know, his energy is just kind of crazy. I don't know. My favorite thing is to look out and to see smiles on people's faces. And that's what's happening here, man. I mean, I'm getting what I need, and I'm feeling like I'm where I belong again. So it's nice.
And he's killing it night after night, man. And quite recently, there's a super secret song that's been in the works between Austin and Bobby
Yeah.
and Saliva. So maybe with a certain producer, maybe you can go into that a little bit, you know?
Yeah, no, without getting into it too much, you know, Bobby had sent me a song that I was definitely into, and you know, we got to collaborating on it, and Mr. Howard Benson comes in, and next thing you know, we got a real rock and roll track on our hands. So I'm pretty amped to let everybody hear that shit for sure.
We got to get this Howard Benson guy on the podcast. I mean, I know you guys know him, but Jesus, I just saw, I think it was this morning, Judge and Jury signed Alien Ant Farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. So,
Love the farm, dude. We done quite a bit of touring with the Ant Farm guys. They're freaking hoot, dude. They're so crazy. Like they have their own their sense of humor and mindset. They're great dudes. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Shit.
Those guys live are amazing. Like really, really good. I saw them a couple years back in Georgia when I was there. They were on tour with Hoobastank, Chris from the Ataris, and Lit, you know, and it was weird. It was in this I met them backstage. Brett Michaels was doing his thing. So I know Brett and Pete is guitarist, and we're hanging out, and I see these group of guys walk over, and I'm like, they look like rock stars. There was this walk, and they got the thing and the chain and like this. They show up, and everybody's, they're just kind of doing their thing. And I start talking to Taylor, Lit's drummer. And he's like, we start chit-chatting. He invites me to the show. The show was odd because those bands are really high energy, right? Very high energy bands. And it was in this kind of small, it looked like the place in Tombstone where they did the play. You know what I mean? The movie Tombstone, where it was kind of like curtains on the side and it was narrow, but then it kind of went to this weird shape, and they killed it. Absolutely killed it. And I was like, God, it's not just Smooth Criminal, but everything else that they're doing was really, really good. So when I read that, I was like, this is kind of cool seeing what, J&J is producing here, and Howard Benson, he's bringing all of these bands that are recognizable, have a lot of fans. The fans might've said, hey, where did you go, Austin? Oh, Hinder, Brad, that kind of stuff, those types of things, bringing them back together, producing new music. This is a cool thing for you guys. Like, I love that teamwork roster type of deal. So that's cool.
I'm sorry. Everything just cut out for froze, and I missed all of that.
Oh, I was just saying that I think that's cool that everybody's on that same label and everybody's working with Howard Benson, and it could create kind of like this cool little rock and roll army. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That was my opinion.
It's funny. We met with Howard to possibly do the third record. So back in 2009, I think 2010, we met and talked extensively about doing the third record together, and it just didn't work out. So I'm very happy that I was able to collaborate on this track with Bobby and him, and the Saliva Boys, and I hope that there's more where that came from.
Yeah, that should make you excited, Brad. You got all these cool people around you.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, and we had Elise from Lilac on, and of course Will. So like everyone on this tour, I mean, everyone's getting along. I mean, of course, some of the shows haven't exactly been, they've been a couple stinkers. I'm not gonna lie. It was funny. It was funny last night or the last one. I'm in there, and Austin's like, where were we? Sioux Falls, I guess it was. And he's like, what exactly is that area over there? And it was like, there was like a fucking ladder, and like they looked like they're doing fucking like testing missiles, the part of the club. We're like, is that gonna be like that during the fucking set? Like, just like laughing, like, but people showed up, and we rocked it. I had a good time, and everyone's having fun out here. As far as I can tell, we are. I think you guys are too, right?
So
absolutely.
Tell me what's a buzzkill for you, Brad? Like, I'm assuming you're watching the other shows, the sets. You want to see what the crowd like. You go out there. What's the buzzkill going? Oh shit! I hope it gets better. Is it just crowd participation, people showing up? Is it just that simple?
It's that simple. And sometimes it's a Sunday night or a Tuesday, and maybe the word didn't get out, or this tour was booked kind of late, and you're always hoping for a packed house, and everyone has expectations, and you just kind of have to manage them accordingly. So I mean, I just look out there, and as long as people are into it. I mean, that show in particular in Sioux Falls, I mean, the people that were there had fists up, and they were like singing along to every fucking word that so it was cool. Like, that was good to see. But yeah, when you look out there sometimes and they're sitting in lawn chairs, you're like, first of all, this is a fucking rock show. No one should be sitting at all, in my head. Like, just stand the fuck up. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, so we did a show, God, where was it? It was in Ohio. Thankfully, the people that were in lawn chairs sitting down for part of their show got up and came to the front, because I was like, man, if they're sitting there when we're playing, dude, Bobby's gonna fuck with them. And he, so they came up. But that kind of shit bugs me, I guess, when people are actually brought chairs to sit down and just like eat popcorn like we're fucking monkeys up there and shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude.
Nothing kills a vibe faster than giving fucking rock and roll fans a chair, man, because they're gonna fucking sit in it.
Man, right? Come on, man.
But you got to also think that the rock and roll show has changed enormously over the years. You know, I mean, go to like, let's just say the 80s and the glam rock days. You know, I loved that era of music. You know, it was a totally different vibe. And as time has gone on, people, I think, you know, even people that were, you know, doing their thing back then have just kind of been like, oh, this is a good song. This is a different version of that click, click, boom. I like it. I really enjoy it. You know, that kind of thing. It's the rock mentality. Unless you go to Pantera, you know, or unless you're going to Slayer, you know, you're like, my son went to My Chemical Romance show with Evanescence the other day in Tampa, and we're at a birthday party, and he's like, yeah, me and my fiance were leaving. He comes out, he's got eye makeup, and he's 24 years old. He's part of that GameStop generation, that weird generation. And he's got this eye makeup underneath. He, bless his heart, and I love this about him, loves the pit. He will get in a pit, start a pit. I guess he got knocked out. I forget what show it was. And I asked him, I said, well, did you get picked up? He goes, yeah, I got picked up. I go, all right, that's the rule. His mother's like, you know, don't stop doing that. And I'm like, that's what keeps rock and roll alive. I go, let him get knocked out. As long as he's in the pit and starting a pit, like, do it for rock and roll, man. You've got to do it, right? You know, just a different mindset, I guess.
I love the pit, man. Like, whenever we did a few runs with Korn and I think Five Finger back in 2011, 2012. Now, granted, I was still partying these days, but after we got done with our set and Korn started to play, I jumped in that fucking pit.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed because they recognized me and then they wouldn't hit me. And I was like, come on, motherfuckers, let's do this. Like this. I mean, that's reminded me of being a kid, man, and going to the fucking Korn concert when I was a kid and being in the pit. Like, so I just jumped in and fucking they wouldn't hit me. So I was a little bummed out.
It's always amazed me. Like, I love Jonathan Davis. And remember the first time I interviewed him, I was warned he's going to be horrible. And he's not going to give you anything. I had one of the best conversations with the guy. He's such a good dude, right? Talks about anything. Very cool, very chill, very mellow. So over my career, interviewed him a couple times. And he always he's like the most calm person in the world. Like, he's just so chill. But then he gets up on stage and you get those strobes and it's, you know, and it's like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, and the whole crowd goes nuts. Korn shows are so, you know, like, you look at bands like Korn and, you know, even Biscuit when they do break stuff and like that. Durst is kind of, I mean, I don't know him. I've never met him, but Brad, obviously you're very close. He's a very chill and mellow guy too, right off stage.
He is, but he can be, I mean, at least back in the day, he could be pretty intense though too, man. And Fred's a businessman, like, and if shit pisses him off, like, and it's not going well as far as his business is concerned, you'll know about it, dude. And I mean, Fred and I mean, we used to skate Kona together in Jacksonville back in the day, and we did all kinds of crazy fun shit, but I'll never forget, man, like, he was one of those guys back in the day. We'd be like, Fred, man, we're hungry, but we're all broke. And he'd call Cracker Barrel up and he'd be like, man, y'all fucked up my order, bro. And he'd be like, yeah, we had like 10 Sunrise samplers and y'all fucked every one of them up and shit. And I'm going to need you to remake them. So he would do crazy shit like that, right? And then he would literally go to the Cracker Barrel. We'd take him up there and there'd be 10 fucking Sunrise samplers that the manager had made for us. And they didn't question him. Like, he was so convincing and so you know, he's a hustler, man. Like, he and that kind of hustle was what he brought into the music business too. And he made it fucking really far. I mean, you just got to see, like, you know, and he was like, he used to tell me too, he's like, man, this isn't classic rock, man. This won't be around, you know, in 20 years and 30 years. And it is though, you know what I mean? Which is crazy. Biscuit they had a resurgence, and now I feel like they're bigger than they've ever been, man.
Massive,
you know?
Yeah.
So, but no, Fred's a trip, man. Like, Fred's one of those guys, though. When he would turn on that anger and that intensity, man, it's pretty frightening to witness, you know, because it's real, you know, and he ain't putting that. He's not acting. That shit was real shit, you know.
But he's not doing 9K of damage on a bus like Austin.
I'm sure he's probably done more. I mean,
He did break stuff though, right? I mean,
Break
yeah.
stuff.
yeah.
What's your Austin? What's your brass ring when you got into the business? What was the brass ring? What was what you wanted to accomplish?
Oh man, I mean, a gold record was, you know, iconic for me to have, and we were able to do that with Get Stoned, and then you know, Lips came out and just went into the stratosphere, and platinum records. I mean, that's like most like honorable thing I can feel like I can get out of this, as far as like what that means, and all my hard work means and stuff like that. Like having people, you know, relate and buy and purchase and scream out the songs that came from me, man. It's that's it, man. I that's kind of what I do it for, is for people to connect with them and see how that goes, man. That's it.
I remember many years ago. So Shinedown ended up jumping on to a Stained Hinder tour. I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember this.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting because Hinder was direct support on this tour, but when we came in onto the tour, we ended up getting that spot, and they kind of, you know, they got bumped down, and I
Yeah.
can't imagine them being stoked about that. I mean, obviously, they were blowing up at the time, and they're like, "Well, what the fuck, dude? Like, we were supporting, like, we're right before the headliner, and now here comes Shinedown." And
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a management move or booking agent or what happened there, but I remember Aaron Lewis in the dressing room. He would come in there and stuff, and this is when the Hinder Boys were. I mean, I think that y'all had a Jägermeister sponsorship
Oh
maybe
yeah.
at the time. So I mean, everyone's hammered shit, like everyone's
Yeah.
ripped. But Aaron was like, dude, they're fucking out. They were outselling both of our bands combined in merch. Hinder was. So and
Really?
so yeah, so yeah, y'all were crushing the merch, and I never forget. Like, I mean, Shinedown, we may have had more singles at radio, but we didn't have Lips of an Angel at radio. And when
Yeah.
y'all would come on, opener or not, and y'all would play that fucking song, dude, panty dropper, dude, everybody was on their feet singing
Yeah.
that fucking song, dude, and then they'd go to the merch table and buy y'all shit and not ours. So it was, and even Aaron's like he's scratching his head. He's like, man, I mean, he wasn't mad about it, but he was
Yeah.
like, fucking outselling both of us, like doubling our numbers and shit, and Stain was big. I mean, they still are a big band, but
Yeah, dude. I mean, I mean, I remember that, and I remember when you guys came on to that tour, and us going to the third slot or whatever you would call it, like right before you guys, and
Yeah.
it didn't even phase me. It made sense to me because I'd always been a Shinedown fan. Like I was just fucking stoked to be on the bill. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. Whenever Lips was popping, man, it was a wild time, man. It was a wild time.
Is there
Bro,
is
it
there
was frightening. It was good.
is there is
See
there
that
a lot
shit.
of is there a lot of bumpiness in a band when you have a song so big like that, and then the pressure of following it up with a song to be even bigger, and then within the band, people bickering and going, dude, and you're comparing it. You're like, that's not going to be anywhere near Lips. It's just not going to be like that. Is that, you always kind of think, is that like what starts animosity and inconsistencies and heat within a band when you can't follow up that success?
Yeah, whenever you have a song like that is its own thing and its own animal, there's always going to be pressure to live up to that. And I'd never really put that pressure on myself or whatever. Like I thought that all I can do is just write great songs and do the best I can. And the next record we thought we had it, man. I thought there was this track called "Thing for You" on there that I thought should have been the second single, and the label does their research and think it's this other song, which was "Without You," which became the second single, and our attempt at, I guess, another ballad after Lips. And lo and behold, the record drops and everybody's buying "Thing for You," and I'm like, motherfucker. And we've already got this campaign out for "Without You." We just shot a video, and what do you do, man? What do you do? So it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that always weighs heavy on a band to try to follow up a fucking massive song like that, for sure. There was conversation.
I could imagine, because I mean, what brings people together, whether it's a band or sports team, football team, baseball team, or something, is trying to get to that ultimate goal, and then because it's so difficult. But when you achieve success, and I remember having this conversation with a radio show that I was hosting in Atlanta, and we had achieved a certain level of success that we weren't supposed to achieve. I mean, it was just ridiculous, the level of success that we achieved. And I remember walking in the room talking about, I had like 6, 7, 8 people on the show. And I said, look, success is one thing when you achieve it. Maintaining it is a whole new ball game. You got to come in every day like you're in last place.
Right.
And I'll never forget to the day I die, looking around that room. It was like deer in headlights. They were just, you had some people that were pounding their chest. They're the best. Other people like, shut the fuck up, old guy. Just nobody bought into it. So in the music world, when you have a song like Lips and you're going, we got there, it's almost like you go, can we even do any better than that? What's there to achieve? Let's just party and enjoy what we got now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, that is the real test. I mean,
yeah,
you got that one hit. How do you stay there?
Yeah.
Right. It's not even how do you go up from there? It's how do you fucking stay there?
Yeah.
And, it works out sometimes it doesn't,
Shinedown had a similar, not issue, but whenever we did Simple Man, and that was completely not planned. And then the label we actually went in and recorded that in a studio and then strapped it to the record and re-released the record. Right. And that's what really got Shinedown, and it's a Skinner song. And of course, love and respect to Skinner. We're from Jacksonville, at least I am. And that was a cool thing. And, Judy Van Zant, Ronnie's widow from Skinner, actually let Brent Smith, the singer of Shinedown, stay in her house because he was homeless, basically. The label had spent a lot of the money on the writing and the production and getting the band. And, she had this beautiful home in Atlantic Beach, actually, on the ocean. And it was like a courtyard, the pool, and there was this kind of like mother-in-law or like a guest house that her son Matt Grondin was staying in, and he was no longer in there, and she let Brent stay there. And so we had done that song Simple Man at the Freebird, which she owned, of course, too. It was a club down in Jack's Beach. So they closed it, I guess, 2016. But and then, of course, we ended up, playing the song at WAAF up in Boston. And from then on, it was this huge thing. So then, of course, recorded it, strapped it to the record. And that's what got us to gold, I want to say, man. And that was a long road to gold, though, man, because I think our first week out, we sold like 7,000 records. Mm-hmm. I mean, to go from 7,000 to 500,000 is a long way to go. That's a fucking long way. So, when we got us to gold. And then, with the strength of the touring and the rest of the singles, I guess it eventually got us to platinum, and now, 2 times platinum. But yeah, man, I definitely remember living inside of that being like, what happens if we can't top the Simple Man hype and the Simple Man sort of where that got us down the road? Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah,
that's a tough spot to be in, dude. It really is, man. It's like, I think, I mean, obviously they've done what they've done. But,
yeah. I think with like success, the goal should be not necessarily trying to top what you've done, but kind of like what you were saying, Austin, is kind of plateau what you've done. Like if you've gotten there and then you don't want to overstress yourself. And by doing that, there's a good chance that you will top it. I think that's kind of the key. But in the music business, you can only do so much. You don't know what is going to work for people. I mean, there's no magic formula.
1,000%. I mean, Lips Exhibit A, dude, like we turned it in to the label and there was these we turned like, demos into the label to see what they think of the songs. And there's these lengthy paragraphs on like all the songs, and it gets to Lips and there's 2 lines. Nice song, sounds like a B-side to me. And then next track, I mean, they didn't think it was good. They didn't think it even should be on the record.
Wow.
Like 10 more minutes.
How did you force them to say, hey, look,
well, Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things that we're like, well, they just don't see it. Like they just don't see it. Like we're gonna cut this one anyway. And
God, you wonder how often that happens with bands and songs that just get brushed under the rug that could be iconic.
it's fairly common, man. But it comes back to what you just said, dude. You don't know what the public needs to hear or wants to hear ever. Like you can weigh in with your opinions and be like, I think this song is this and this song is that. But until you fucking let it out and let people hear it, you never know.
And a
Yeah.
lot of times it's the band's like the band hates the song, but you had to put it on there, and then that's the one everyone's like, God, it's the best song ever.
Yeah, see, it's
It's like,
the reverse too, right?
you're like, it is. Fuck, everyone hated it, and the label guy
Right.
had to have it on there, or the manager
Yeah.
or somebody and shit, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Ugh," and everyone doesn't even want to play it, and you're like, I guess, but that's the one everyone gravitates to, of course.
Yeah.
It's-
All right. Well, I think somebody's trying to summon you, Brad. You got to go somewhere.
Actually, we are in Minot, North Dakota, at a club called The Original today, and they're about to start firing up the PA. So they're letting me know that it's about to get really
Real loud.
loud. So
Okay.
I was like, "Hey, man, 10 more minutes, bro, please."
All right, we'll wrap it up. Austin, before we go, is there anything else that you want to leave with the audience? Anything about upcoming music? I mean, obviously, this tour with Saliva, Earshot, and Lilac, if it's coming to a city nearest you,
Yeah.
make sure you go to the show, support the show. And if it's not coming to a city, go to your local radio station's social media and tell them, dude, you guys haven't had a good idea in 6 months, if a year, if not longer. Why don't you spend a few dollars and get this tour into our city so we can go out and listen to some good rock and roll? You
Absolutely.
creative fucks. So you can put it in your own words, though. So not bitter at all. Anyway, you want to leave the audience with anything, Austin?
No, just to check out the Fountain Music, this new EP, and be on the lookout. We just had a single called "F the World." That's one of my favorites I've written, and be on the lookout for this new Saliva featuring the Founder track that's going to come out on October.
You and Bobby, that'll be pretty cool. Walking Dead, DED, that's the EP, right?
Yes, that's the EP.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
The song with Bobby, fast, slow, ballad, what?
Man, I'm not even gonna give you anything, dude. It's just gonna fucking it's
gonna
gonna
kick
make
your
you
ass.
smile, and you're gonna be like, oh, I needed this shit.
Okay. So is it Saliva featuring Austin John Winkler, or is it Bobby and Austin and then some dudes playing instruments? How's it?
I mean, I believe it's Saliva featuring the Founder, but time will tell. I think that's what we landed on.
Okay. You might want to think about changing your name to the Founder, kind of like Prince and the Symbol. That's pretty badass, dude. That's very cultish. I think people could like gravitate towards it.
Well, that's the goal, That's the goal.
Yeah, it's very, very dictator-esque. It's like, I'm the Founder. Brad, you got anything before we get out? I'll let you go do your thing.
Man, I'm just grateful for everyone that's listening, and and for everyone that's the Vinyl Roadies, of course. I think we're over 1,100 members strong on the Vinyl Roadies group there, man, which I'm pretty proud of, because it hasn't. I mean, we just kind of started this not too long ago.
Right.
But no, man, I'm stoked to still be out here doing what we're doing, and with the people that we're doing it with. And I think this tour has been a lot of fun, and there's still, like I said, we're 17 shows into a 33 show run. So, I mean, we're barely halfway in it. So I'm just grateful also for the people showing up to the shows and supporting everybody and buying the merch. I mean, everybody comes out, and, it's getting toward fall, winter. So you see them out there with their beanies and their fucking, they're buying the hoodies and shit now. And it's cool, man, to see that people not only support by coming out, but they support it, and they're helping us. That you'd be surprised how far that gets you down the road when they buy a t-shirt or a hat at the show. So we're super grateful, man, for people, that are showing up and coming to rock with us, man. Hopefully that'll continue for the rest of the tour,
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
So anybody want to get Mike Riggs on from Zombie so we can talk aliens, please do so. That would make Brad's day. If you guys want to send him messages nicely, just say, hey, you should join Brad and all that kind of stuff. For me, thanks to everybody that listens. Appreciate it. Remember, This show is on the BPX. It's the Bailey Podcast Exchange. 3 different shows, 5 days a week. So you've got Honey, I Raised the Kids on Mondays. Me and my wife be talking about becoming empty nesters. The BS, which is more like the radio show, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, with Tuesday and Thursdays being for subscribers and subscribers only. And if you'd like to do that, you can go to jasonbailey.com. And of course, the Vinyl Road Podcast all have their own social media on Instagram. And you can get all that information on jasonbailey.com, the brand new jasonbailey.com. All right. Thanks for listening. You're going to do some drinking. I understand. I get it. If you've had too much, please don't get behind the wheel of a car. I've lost way too many friends like that. And definitely don't post shit on social media. Talk to you soon. Then bye.
I think we should do a podcast about rock and roll. I got some stories.
That's it for this episode. Check out jasonbailey.com for more shows. Until next time.
3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed, details, and to subscribe, jasonbailey.com.